The Penguin just wrapped up a few days ago, and I watched every episode. And these are my thoughts, because I have some, because the show was fucking incredible. I've spent my entire life, consuming Batman content, whether that be movies or games. And the Penguin has been in a few of them, like, the Arkham games, the cartoons, of course, and Danny DeVito in Batman Returns. But the character of the Penguin was never necessarily one of my favorites or even really close to it. Colin Farrell and this show and the Batman movie have made me love this fucking character to the point where the only villain I want to see in the Batman Part 2 is the Penguin. And this show does such a great job of building him up and making you kind of like him and then making you absolutely fucking despise him. And this show kills it with the Penguin, the title character, of course, but the side characters in this show are amazing. You have Sophia Falcone, who I had never even heard of before, or that character, and the actress blew me away. And then my dog, Victor, who is basically Penguin's, kind of right-hand guy throughout the whole show, but, he has, such a good arc throughout the entire show. Bottom line, with pretty much every single character, not even pretty much every single character in the show, I was never bored. The way the show is shot and the way it's written, it just never feels like it's empty. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. It's hour episodes, or almost hour episodes, I believe, at least 45 minutes a pop. And there's 8 of them, and there's a lot of talking. There's, a lot of times there's not a ton of action, but it's just so enthralling. Not only because you're in the world of the Batman and, you're in the world of, or in the city of Gotham, but because these characters are so good and you actually give a shit about what they say. It's not just nonsense for the sake of saying nonsense, or something isn't so clear so then a character just spits it out and says it directly to you. It's actual conversations between characters that feels like you're just listening in on an actual conversation with real people. I think that's what makes an amazing show. That's also what gives it this very unique vibe where it feels like a perfect offshoot of the movie and there's not some weird disconnect where this feels like its own thing compared to the Batman movie. It feels like a genuine straight up continuation that fills a big gap that's left after, the end of the Batman 1, with pretty much everything going to shit and the crime syndicate being open and up for grabs. And, Oz, that's the entire show, is him trying to climb that ladder. It's just great, man. I loved every minute of it. I was so excited to watch it every week. I was watching 3 shows a week, or 3 shows were coming out simultaneously at the same time, and that was Agatha, Daryl Dixon, and the Penguin. And the Penguin by far was the best of the 3, even though I actually liked all 3. But this show had something special. I'm going to remember it for a long time. It makes me super excited for the Batman Part 2. And actually, after me and my dad finished watching the Penguin, we watched the Batman again, and it made that movie even better. I mean, that's, again, why I'm so excited, not only for just the sequel to this, or, the Batman Part 2, like I've been saying, but I'm excited to see the Penguin again, which I never thought I would say when this movie, or when the Batman first came out, and then this show came out. I didn't think I would, want to see this character this much, but he's so good and well written, I love it. There's so much fucking potential, and I'm super excited. I'd give this show, a 9.6. I'm not really huge on ratings. I've kind of been doing it just for the fuck of it, just for fun, and how I initially come out and how I feel about, certain things, and I can kind of go back and be like, do I agree with myself? And maybe 9.6 is high, but it is one of the best, not only superhero shows I've watched, but one of my favorite shows I've, been able to sit down and watch all the way through, especially for a 1-season thing, which I don't know if they'll do a season 2. Maybe they, Penguin ends up, making it through Batman Part 2, and they make season 2 between 2 and 3. I don't know. That'd be interesting. But obviously, we have no idea when that will be, so for now, we got the movie and we got this show, and they're both fantastic. If I had one genuine nitpick about this show, because to be honest, most of my problems with it are little things, there's no one big issue for me, except for this one, and to be fair, it actually does feel like kind of a nitpick. And it's not that Batman isn't in it, it's that he's not mentioned, at all. That's the one thing that kind of stuck with me after I watched it. I'm like, really? You don't have anybody, say they're worried about the Batman or some shit like that? I swear to God, there is no mention of him ever. And that just felt a little bit weird. It felt like at least that would be a topic of conversation, or something in passing with some of these things, but they're not worried about him at all. And with the events of the Batman movie and how Penguin is involved in it and has had, conversations and interactions with Batman, it feels like that would have come up at some point. So that's the one thing that felt a little bit weird. It's Batman felt weirdly absent, but he didn't even need to be there to feel present. All you had to do was do it like the movie did and have somebody look down a dark alley and be like, is there maybe a Pattinson back there? But no, there's none of that. So that's my one little thing. But other than that, show's amazing. Sorry to end it on the negative part, but again, 9.6. That's where it loses that 0.2 points, because I don't know if I'll ever give anything a perfect 10 other than The Crow. The Brandon Lee one, to be clear. But I seriously love this show. It was fantastic, and that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to let me know what you thought, and I hope you enjoyed my incoherent rambling. So I'll catch you later. Peace.